Welcome to the Williams City Council meeting Wednesday, December 17th, 2014, with regular session at 6 p.m. Let the record show that all council members are in attendance, and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remove your caps. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me, I'm just going to make a brief presentation to our retiring council members. If you'd like to come up here.
Just one at a time, or you want to
Oh, you both go. Well, I just wanted to take a brief minute to recognize both Pat Ash and Angie Fulcher for their dedication, hard work, continuing to strive to make Williams the best it can be. For me, I've worked for them as the Chief of Police for 8 years. It's been my pleasure to serve you. And that's all I'm going to say. I really appreciate everything. Presented to the City of Williams City Council member Tricia Ash in grateful appreciation for your years of outstanding service and dedication, December 13, 2006 to December 17, 2014.
Mine's a little different. Just a little.
And Angela's reads the same, in grateful appreciation for your years of outstanding leadership and dedication, January 17, 2007 to December 17, 2004. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
I just like to I did briefly at the staff luncheon yesterday, but I wanted to do it for the public as well. What an honor it has been to serve with you. What a remarkable group of people you are. And you have really turned Williams around. And to Jim, twice you have come and helped when staff morale was at its lowest. And you put your leadership out there. You showed by example how it is to serve and how it is to be a leader. And I can see it in the employees. I can see it in their dispositions. And I thank you. And Frank, you're a great addition. And I hope that you stay on as city administrator because you have done great things for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Gotta have to make an exit or what?
Okay, at this time, I'd like the 3 new council members to come in to be sworn in and take their oath of office. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. Enter your name. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Okay, thank you. Each time. Mr. Towers.
Next order of business is to hold the election within the council to the position of mayor and mayor pro tem. There would be a motion.
I'd nominate Mr. Trogan for mayor.
I'll second it. I'd like to make a substitute motion. I think in all fairness, not that you wouldn't do a good job, John, but considering you have been it before, and we like to rotate mayors here, Alfred would be the next senior member on our council. I'd like to nominate Alfred Sellers for mayor.
Is there a second? Motion is carried. There's a motion on the floor to make Councilmember John Trogan Jr. Mayor for the year 2015. That motion was made by Charles Ferguson, seconded by Carl Santos. How do you? All in favor? Opposed?
Was that unanimous?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll entertain motions for Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Mr. Seller for mayor pro tem.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any other nominations? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay.
What's it here? I see it next time.
Okay, this is time for public comment. This is the opportunity for the public to speak to the council on any item other than those listed on the public hearing of this agenda. Speakers are requested to use the podium in front of the council and to begin by saying their name, whether they reside in Williams, and name the organization they represent, if any. The mayor may impose a time limit on any speaker depending on the number of people wanting to speak and time available for the rest of the agenda. In the event the comments are related to an item scheduled on the agenda, speakers should wait to make their comments until that time. Any comment on written communications?
Yes, Mayor. I had a correction to item number 8, number 7. The resolution letter of the city clerk, that my letter should reflect December 17th.
Okay, that's today's date. Any other corrections or comments?
Can't reflect the, should reflect the 16th or 17th. Does it matter? For the,
First resignation. Second.
okay, I just wasn't sure if it can overlap because that was my question.
It's definitely
I don't believe we need a motion on communication, do we?
You should, yes, you should.
Do we have a motion on receiving the written communications, please? You move. Have a second? Moved by Bo, second by Sellers. All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous, vote in favor. We move on to the consent agenda. And part of the consent agenda is to adopt resolution 1417, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williams declaring the results of the general municipal election held on November the 4th, to set forth a statement of election results. comment on the consent?
Mr. Mayor, myself and Mr. Red can't vote on item number 10.
Right, so you should
Yeah.
take them separately.
All right, I need a motion or comments on the minutes of the November 19th for approval.
Did you want to bifurcate 9 and 10, or did you want to just take them together? Did you want to bifurcate 9 and 10, or do you want to?
Yes, because two of the members weren't, they can't vote on.
Well, we have 3 of us that can vote on it.
Right, so I'll move on now.
Yeah.
I'll move on number 9 for the consent agenda.
Whether it's even on the consent agenda, we'll take in both of them.
Move in, well, they can vote on 9. Is I think what Ann getting at.
Okay.
So I'll
all
move
right.
on 10.
You move on 10, okay. You have a second? Second. Moved and second on number 10. Moved by Bo, seconded by Sellers. All those in favor? Aye. That's
So,
3-0.
yeah, Mr. Ray, you should abstain. Did you abstain?
Sir, I'm second. Sorry.
And on the consent agenda, do I have a motion on that?
I'll move on. The rest of consent, item 9.
I'll second.
Moved by Bo, seconded by Bergson. Any public comment on that? No public comment? All in favor? Vote is unanimous in favor. Old business, receive treasurer's investment report and monthly register for October.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This is the summary of cash investments for City of Williams as of October 31st, 2014. And your U.S. business checking account with a balance of $268,804. And our general checking account with a balance of $541,283. And our investment portfolio, we have a balance of $4,544,031. Giving us a total cash investments of $5,354,117. Of the total cash investments, the amount belonging to the general fund was $1,033,549. Yes, the storm drain fund deficit $283,149. Giving us a net general fund balance of $750,388. Everything will take safety to the fund report for the master record.
Thank you. Any comment, council? New business, number 12, appoint deputy clerk, city clerk to the position of city clerk with the remainder of the vacated term, which will expire November 2016.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Members of the council, you just accepted the written communication from Mr. Bergson's resignation for the city clerk, whose term expires November of 2016. To fill that, our current deputy city clerk, who's a resident of the city, who meets all the requirements, expressed interest in the position. She's performed many of the day-to-day activities for the last year, and my recommendation is that we appoint her to fill the role of city clerk for the remainder of the unexpired term.
Okay, council, any comment? Public, have any comment?
Excuse me.
Mr. Salt.
Maybe it's also have enough one. What's the expired term of the position?
2016, November.
And that's
2 years, the next election.
It's
That's
another
fine.
election again in November 2016. It's an elected position, so it's kind of like an election in November 2016. So what you're doing is appointing for the rest of the term.
Any comment from the public? Comment from the council? Do I have a motion? Moved by Bergson.
Second.
Second by Sellers. All those in favor? Aye. The vote is unanimous in favor. The next item is approved expenditure of wastewater treatment plant nitrate probe, and I have a little insight in this. But go ahead, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. In June 6th, the state, who monitors our wastewater treatment plant, let us know that we're going to have to meet a requirement of having 10 milligrams a liter of nitrates in our discharge. Currently, last month they were running 13. They used a temporary permit to go up to as high as 30, so we have to solve that problem. We can solve the problem internally, with modifying the operations a little bit. The problem is that we have no way to measure our daily or constantly monitoring the level of nitrates we're disposing from and discharging through the wastewater treatment plant. So by allowing us to buy the probe, we'll have constant readings, so we'll hook into our SCADA, our computer program, and allow us to monitor them on a constant basis so we don't get in trouble with the state, be fined, and all the other things that go along with that. This is a recommendation from Pace, our new engineer on site. We seem to like them so far. They've led us astray. We feel comfortable with the recommendation.
Yeah, I think that also our new sewer engineers, Pace, recommend this, and I believe that this is caused by food that goes in, basically the food that goes from restaurants or from your garbage disposal into the system, and some cities have ordinances or rules, whatever you want to call it, to have that picked up and eliminated, because nitrates, that's what creates an increase in nitrates with food stuffs that get into the system, and we need to probe that. I think this is a very good idea. Council, comments?
Is that the artificial additive that they usually add to food, the nitrates that we talked about?
Yeah, it'll probe to give you a test that will show you what the nitrate content is. And if you get above a certain nitrate, I don't know what the numbers are right off the top of my head without going through. Once you get above that, then you have a problem. So you need to monitor that to see if you have any additional development or anything that increases the load on the sewer pond. This thing will monitor that and tell you what that increase is, and you can anticipate some of the problems you might have.
So we also anticipate that this we're going to meet the level below 10%.
We can modify the operations in order to meet that level, yes, but we have to know what those levels are to know what are the effects of our modifying the operations will be on that level. Without constant monitoring. Right now, we send samples to the lab. We do have a way to test on site. It's not as accurate as we need. Okay. The other thing is that staff did explore other options for this, and this was the best, most convenient, most cost-effective option.
Council, comment? Public comment?
Mr. Kennedy, votes, did you get 3 votes, or was that discretionary?
I think we only really explored one other viable option, and it's under the $30,000 limit. It's $24,200 some. So we wanted to bring it to you guys for discussion and clarification.
And this number is 24,323.
And that does include the computer work that would need to be done in order to be hooked up to our SCADA, so we can kind of monitor everything, even the attachment that stick on there.
Any more comments, council? Questions?
Comment, how often are we required, or do we have to do this so we don't have to go over those?
Well, we're required to provide them information on a monthly basis. And right now, we have no idea what we're sending them, because the sample we've taken sent to the lab and then passed on to the state. So we don't know until the state reports back to us, hey, you're over. This way, we can modify our operations on a daily basis if need be and meet those requirements.
Council?
I have a question. On the nitrate, is this one of the contributing factors to the buildup of the fixtures in your restrooms, the faucet, the tallest. Is nitrate have anything to do with that?
I don't know.
No.
We have our level 4 plant operator here. You want to come up here for a second?
Nitrates are just, they're a byproduct of ammonia. And as the ammonia is oxidized, it converts to nitrate, which is toxic to fish, which is why we want it out of the water before we discharge it to the creek. It doesn't cause any unsightly fixture marks or anything like that.
By the way, for the audience, he's one of our sewer operators, our wastewater treatment operators. I will use sewer quite often by habit, but that's Pete Garcia. He's one of our operators out there. Any further questions? Can I have a motion?
I move that we approve the expenditure for the work.
Moved by Sutter, second by Bergson. Any further comment by anybody? All those in favor? Vote is unanimous in favor. We have now a special event application from Spentown to hold the 2014 Antique Show. Jim?
Mayor, this item is just approval of a special event application from Spentown Spanish English Community Williams to hold an event at the inside the old gym on the weekend of March 21st and 22nd. They will be hosting the Williams Antique Show, which will be coming back to the city of Williams. They have not requested any staff time. They've requested a waiver of fees. That's not an uncommon request.
Comment? Council, comment? Public comment?
Is the public aware of the contents of the antique show?
The what?
The contents of the antique show. Is the public aware of what's going to be held at the antique show?
Well, what this is at the old gym will be opened up, and there will be vendors that come in. They will apply for a space. I suspect that they will pay for it, right? And they will take their space up, put out their wares, antiques, and sell them. And there'll be a fee at the gate to get in, and it'll be held at the old gym out by the museum.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Sellers, this is the Williams Antique Show. It's gone on 39 years, so it's a long tradition in the city, and we'd like to continue that. So the Spanish River Committee help facilitate that.
Mr. Mayor, isn't it necessary for Mr. Bergson, Mr. Santos, and Mr. Sellers to recuse themselves from this item because they are Span Cow?
Yeah, I was going to ask that question
Mr.
myself.
Bergson wrote the permit. I had to recuse myself when I wrote a permit for festival of lights.
Well, this is not, it's not a legal, you don't have a legal conflict. I think the city's policy has been that if you're an officer in the organization, that you should recuse yourself. Being a member doesn't require you to recuse yourself. I think it's just if you're an officer, that's what we're going to do.
And there is they are charging, so there's financial gain, so.
Yeah, but it's not personal. It's not, they're not personal.
So how does that fit with your organization? Who's the officers in the organization? Chuck?
I'm Mr. Ranking Officer. Mr. Ranking Officer, and I'm an officer.
Okay, then you would have to recuse yourself, and Mr. Sellers could vote, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Real quick, just a couple questions. There's two sections where it says to be provided. Attached site plan for event and written request for the waiver and the reason supporting it. If we pass this, are we going to pass contingent upon receiving those, or do we traditionally not care?
Okay, business item.
Your application.
Yeah. Well, the site plan, it's the same site plan for 30 acres, so that's the site plan. You can contingent on the request for waiver. That's coming in writing.
Any further act? Mr. Sellers? Can take it further, Mr. Bose?
No. Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve special event permit 21 for the Williams Antique Show held by Spencow on March 21, 22 of 2015 and waivers.
Okay, we have a second. Second. Moved by Bose, seconded by Sellers. All those in favor? Aye. That's 3-0 with two abstentions, okay. Okay, now we move on to reports. City Attorney? Councilmember Bose.
I have nothing to report, but considering our Transportation Commission representatives are sitting on, I can go ahead and give some results on that. We had our meeting yesterday, and we did approve the purchase of 5 new buses. We approved a fare increase effective January 1st. We also approved which also was a fare reduction for certain parts of the Uber run. We also approved a service extension, so the buses will now, instead of running till 5, they'll run till 7, and we're adding 7 additional routes in that 2-hour span, all at no increase to the operating costs. And what else did we do yesterday? Is there anything else that's significant? You were there, Mr. Saxon. I think that was it as far as significant news.
Special meetings Tuesday.
Oh, there, yeah, that's all.
City needs a representative. City needs a representative.
That's true. We do need to appoint. Do we need to have a special meeting to do that?
No, the mayor's discretion.
Then yes, there is a special meeting next Tuesday where we're going to need a representative there. And since we have none right now, you might want to make an appointment for that meeting and then subsequently replace it with the January meeting.
CTC?
When is that meeting?
Tuesday, I think?
It's Tuesday at,
This Tuesday?
23rd.
I will appoint the city administrator to be at that meeting. Okay.
That's all.
All right, Mr. Sellers.
I attended a CRNC meeting this morning, 7. Nothing unusual. The stats for the clinic, outpatient clinic, was 2%. 2%. That's it. That is also.
Okay. Mr. Bergson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple items, I'm glad to serve the city and serve on the council. A couple items coming up, I think, Mr. Mayor, you're going to address them, is that I'd like to see address in the near future some broad programs, the Parks and Recreation program, the 10-year capital improvement plan, repair of the fields, and I'd like to see that we do a dedication for the new water tank.
Okay. Mr. Draghi.
I'd like to just make some comments, and I'd like to have that to say for the record regarding the comments that were made on the Pioneer newspaper. And these comments were regarding my service as a city treasurer back in 2006, 2008, it was about a year and a half. As I was asked to serve the city treasurer at that time of substance, I was advised that there was no duties and responsibility or mandatory for me to attend those meetings. I did attend several meetings, and I was not required, like I said, to make a report. That's what I was told at that time. Prior to my service in 2006, as a city council was transferred all the financial duties to the accounting duties from the city treasurer to the finance officer under the direction of the city administrator. So I just wanted to say that for the record, that it was advised to me, it was told that I did not have any responsibilities to take and report any financial reports at that time.
Thank you. Any further?
The other thing is I would like to to get a report back from staff on the repairs of the Bannis Park. I would like to see that on the agenda. I did, struggle over a couple of years to get that done, and I think it's time for now to get those fields repaired for all of our kids here in the city of Williams. So I'd like staff to work on that, and if we can put that on the next month's agenda, that'd be great.
Okay. I want to have a workshop on January the 13th, the Tuesday, and discuss all of these things and open it up for the planning, as a planning session for this next year. So we'd like to schedule a meeting, and tentatively you've scheduled it for the 13th, right? I'd like to know about a time that's suitable for members of the council. I know that you work during the day, and he works during the day. I don't know about Mr. Summers and Mr. Burton as to their schedule, but I'd like to come up with a time for that day and approve, right, that we schedule that meeting, and we will cover all these topics that we're talking about, whether it be recreation, water, sewer, any planning issues, those types of things that we need to consider to be proactive rather than reactive, so that we can take care of these things and plan ahead and hopefully shortcut some of the problems we might have. Mr. Bergson, yeah.
Mr. Bowes, is the CTC meeting, they're on Tuesdays.
CCTC, they're on Tuesdays.
Is that the day of the meeting, or is it later in the month?
I believe it's the third one.
20th.
Is it 20th? Yeah.
So that won't interfere.
Well, the other item, Mr. Mayor, is the next CTC meeting is before our next council meeting. And I don't know if, I guess, if we're going to appoint a rep from the council, like you want, Mr.
Well, that was going to be addressed at the special workshop, or it didn't affect much of the business.
Okay.
It would be workshop.
And Jim can take care of that. But, when's the next meeting, you say?
20th.
Okay.
Well, the special one's next week, and then the next regular
It will be
meeting.
addressed before the regularly scheduled county meeting. The
And I should be able to make committee appointments on that workshop day on the January the 13th.
Mr. Mayor, I'm open for
Yes, January 13th. That's suitable to the rest of the council.
Yeah, any time is good for me. I can make the time, but or afternoons are preferable.
Mr. Gray?
Same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Now, there are going to be some city employees involved in this, and I would like to take into consideration their work schedule. So I'd like to have it like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that suitable?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just by general consent, we'll have a meeting at 2 on the 13th of January. That's all I have. Acting City Administrator.
I'd like to congratulate everybody and welcome those new members to the council. Just wanted to report in the next 2 weeks through next Monday through the 7th, staff will be really thin here. The police department business office will be open. The city administrator will be here. I'll be here minus the holidays, but the majority of the staff is taking their time off. They don't take much time out to be here.
What were the dates again?
Monday, this upcoming Monday through 2 Mondays from now, after the New Year.
Okay, 2 weeks.
It'll be a thin staff. That's
Anything further?
the police report. Police report is, we've been a little bit busy. There's been some interesting ongoings in the police department. I'll just say that there's some things going on. Also, I appreciate the attendance, Mr. Seller, Mr. Schroeder, for the great graduation.
My pleasure. Assistant City Administrator.
Maybe, Mayor, the only thing I really have is, I've been working on the activity report, so to try to perfect it over these next 2 months. Going into the first of the calendar year, we'll have a good set of standards and measurements we can use going forward. I don't have all the information from a couple of the departments to give you November's, to give you a test run, but going into January, we'll be able to provide those to you, so.
There will be like public works production.
Yes.
Like
All the departments throughout the city will have some matrices to fill, and we provide one report to
you guys, like on monthly report.
monthly report.
Will we see one in January?
I'm trying, what I've done is in December and then again in January, I must do tests on November's and December's stats. So you'll see at the February meeting, the statistics from January. I'll be doing a monthly and a year-to-date, and then in future years, comparing those year-to-dates to previous year-to-dates, things like that.
That'll be part of our.
Absolutely, yes.
Good, thank you. Now, we had the police report. Fire chief here, want to make a report? Finance officer? No, okay. City engineer?
With the council, congratulations. Majority of my focus has been the Marguerite Street extension. Got news today that we have 100% plans for the 4th time approved. I don't know how this keeps going on, but I'm sure that the county probably is pretty frustrated with the whole scene, but I'm hopeful that this time we actually have 100% plans. I haven't really bothered printing the plans and specs out in their entirety for publication. We're still looking at going to bid in mid-January, and that's pretty much been the focus of my attention at this particular time. Working on budgeting and bid out at alternates and very soon.
Thank you. Any more public comment on anything?
Yes. My name is Nathan Morning, my address 60 Brand, 2072 Small Road. So it's out of the city. I'm a cheerleader in the city from the outside. First of all, congratulations to the new council members and to the outgoing council members, if you're still around, I don't know, around the corner. Wonderful contributions that you've made.
They're gone.
They're gone? Oh, well, they can read about it in the paper. They're wonderful contributions to the city, and I'm really looking forward to this new chapter. We're all here for the same reason. What is the future of this town for your children and your grandchildren? And to recognize that it's our town, not anybody in particular's town, but our town. And we can build on, for example, Mr. Parker, retired council person, wonderful contribution to the well-being of our beautiful parks. We have absolutely a huge ratio of recreation space to the number of residents. I don't see it being used that much, so it'll be wonderful to coordinate with the recreation department to bring back that full enjoyment of it, and many other contributions, way too many to know, very many people. And to Councilman Bowes, am I pronouncing your last name correctly? I'm not acquainted with you at all. I understand that you're now involved. All I know about you is you've been a substitute teacher on the council, and you're now involved in the Palouse County Transit, and your plans sound fantastic. And congratulations. I might add one thing. I noticed that to advertise the schedule, the area code was not on the phone number on the ad, and I was thinking, okay, somebody's from out of town, how are they going to actually know what the area code is in order to access the service? So to increase it, make it more accessible, to advertise it, and to coordinate with other events and things going on, fantastic, kudos. And I think that's what we need to do, is stop and appreciate people's contribution. The beautiful mural inspired by Pat Ash, her flowers, and the Sacramento Valley Museum keeping that wonderful antique show going for years and years and years. And it comes back to Williams, it brings business, people come to the show. They stay here, they eat here in the rest of the county, and I would really love to see that event, a full city event, maybe with all the participating groups, Citizens for a Better Williams, Community Center, the churches, the organization, I'm sorry, I don't know the proper name for it, Connie Schumann's Mother's Memorial. They raise money to help young people participate in the programs going on. Does anybody have the proper name for that organization? You know what I'm talking about? They've been at different fundraisers. Well, they're wonderful. In their mother's memory, they raise money to provide the application fee. If there's a family who can't afford to join the soccer team or whatever, they pay for their entry. So let's include them. It's all about inclusion and working together. United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall. So it's our town, and I'm very hopeful and positive, and sí podemos, juntos, right? And I wish I could say it also in Punjabi, because we have a very diverse community here. So congratulations to everyone.
Thank you. Any further comments from the public? There you go.
Ron Simmons, 827 High Street. I just had 3 questions. You probably had it said in the previous week for the waste collection. Is that on somebody's, does anybody know that?
Yeah, it's on the agenda. It's a written communication.
It's notice of a rate increase for the first of the year.
You know, there isn't an amount yet.
It's 1.1%.
1.3%. And the antique show, I was just wondering where the proceeds go. Does that go to the city or does that go to FinCom?
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
If I can actually answer that, Mr. Simmons, when the city ran it, proceeds were received by the city. We're a nonprofit. We'd like to go back into the antique show, either to the museum or to the city. If we do generate any funds, we're going to offer to the city or the museum.
And the meeting you're having January 13th, is that open to the public?
Yes, it's going to be an open meeting on the 13th?
Yes.
Yes, that's what it'll be, a regular meeting. It'll be open up for council to express their thoughts and for ideas on what we need to be doing in the future to be more proactive instead of reactive to some of the problems we have, such as our aging sewer system, our aging water system, our roads, and all the other things. We talked about recreation and those types of things, and we've come up with a plan, I hope, after a meeting or two that will help us solve those future problems and give us some insight and some planning into where we're going to be in years to come. Because I think we've neglected that. I think we need to consider the fact that we have an aging water system, an aging sewer system. Our roads are in ill repair. We have a possibility of revenues coming in at the Highway 20 project. If that does, I want to, my personal opinion is to pay the city back. The old part of the town. Over here, we're paying for development over there. And I think that we should set aside a fiduciary, if you will, and pay back the people that are paying for developers. That's been going on for the last 20 years.
I didn't want to speak out of turn, but to answer your initial question, Mr. Simmons, it's going to be an extra 38 cents a month for a regular residential tote.
Okay. Any further comment from the public? Council? Jim? Meeting's adjourned. We'll go into closed session in 10 minutes. Thank you for attendance.